Hi, everybody. It's me, AV to the seventh power. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things law, true crime, and a smidge of debauchery. Something came across my desk. It is a letter from one Courtney Kramer, the Republican challenger in this year's race for the Fulton County DA's office. She issued a press release last night that has some pretty interesting details in it, and it really is. All right, so here's what we have. As the Republican nominee for Fulton County District Attorney, I have watched the ongoing trial and endless prosecution of YSL. With no apparent justice in sight, I have become highly concerned and disappointed in the lack of prosecutorial oversight in this case. As time goes on, the public has witnessed a trial that is undoubtedly over prosecuted by attorneys who have repeatedly been admonished for lack of trial preparation, a complete and utter waste of the court's time. Prosecutors were most recently condemned by the current judge for not following the ethical and legal duty to disclose exculpatory evidence that would prove fruitful for the defense, one of the most basic requirements in the courtroom. With more than 180 acts listed in the indictment with 28 defendants, this case was brought to fame by current DA Fani Willis, not to bring justice to the community. And let's talk about that for a second. As a former Fulton County resident myself, I just moved back up to the north, and I'm particularly interested in the outcome of this election and in the outcome of this case because my tax dollars went there. I am absolutely dumbfounded as to the motives in spending endless amounts of taxpayer dollars in a prosecution that is based almost entirely on witnesses with little to no credibility. Not only have I lost any ounce of faith that justice is in fact being served and the people of Fulton County are being advocated for in an ethical and transparent manner, but this case should have ended by now. Even former DA Paul Howard declined to bring this case, and now the public can see why. I think we can all agree that she's talking about Little Woody when she's talking about witnesses with little to no credibility. And also, let's talk about the Paul Howard thing for a second. The predecessor DA did not want to touch this case. You needed to have very, very clear evidence against these defendants, and it appears that we did not have that here. The evidence is a little flimsy at best. If I am elected as the district attorney of Fulton County, I promise to end this prosecution immediately. I challenge my opponent to do the same thing, the right thing, and end this prosecution and release the accused in this case who are being held without bond. If elected, I intend to restore justice, transparency, and integrity to the office of the district attorney. And the dismissal of the YSL case would be my first official action toward that goal. Fulton County citizens should feel safe in their own homes, parking their cars on the street, and shopping in their own communities. Victims of certain crimes should know that their elected prosecutor prioritizes spending taxpayer dollars clearing the backlog of grape kits and not prosecuting cases for media attention. So this is where we can now start to see the political promise. She is saying one of the first things she's going to do if elected is dismiss this case immediately. Where do we go from here? How do we forget what happened? How do we forget that prosecutors are going to bring RICO charges? Courtney finishes by saying this is not about right versus left. This is about right versus wrong. Above all else, this is about the future of Fulton County and holding accountable those who are elected to serve and seek actual justice. That is a pretty powerful statement. We are all curious to see how the DA elections are going to happen in the state of Georgia, and particularly where Fulton County will vote. Let's not forget that Fani Willis has a very strong following in Fulton County. She has lots of supporters for those of us that are on the outside. Take a look at her challenger, Courtney Kramer. So let's learn a little bit more about Courtney. So here's a photo of Courtney. She's running for DA of Fulton County. She She's a Republican candidate. And the campaign tagline is that it's not about right versus left, it's about right versus wrong. And if you guys, it's very faint here, but you can see the Fulton County Bridge, or at least this is a famous landmark in Fulton County and the heart of Atlanta in the background. I'm scrolling down so we can learn a little bit more about Courtney. Here she is here. Courtney is an Atlanta native. She was born and raised in Alpharetta. At 18, she left home to attend Georgia State College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia, where she took interest in the political process, BA in political science, poli-sci, and was accepted to the prestigious Emory University School of Law. I believe Fani Willis also attended Emory University School of Law. Courtney made the most of every opportunity available to expand her knowledge of the law while working to obtain her Juris Doctorate degree. During her time at Emory, she won the coveted Restoring Religious Freedom Project annual award. She was accepted into and worked for the United Nations in their Counterterrorism Executive Directorate program. She earned for the Cobb County District Attorney's Office, where she assisted the appellate division in writing several appellate and amicus briefs and preparing for oral arguments before the Supreme Court of Georgia and the Georgia Court of Appeals. In the summer of 18, Courtney was offered and accepted the honor of interning in the Office of the White House Counsel under the Trump administration, where she gained experience in ethics, national security, and assisted with the nomination of Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Courtney is active in the Georgia Young Republicans and Georgia Republican Party. Courtney was admitted as a member of the state bar in December of 2020. We do have to talk about that. So that means Courtney has only been practicing law for about 4 years now. She is young, but I will say that right off the bat, I can see some voters being concerned about that. And is also admitted to practice law in the Georgia Court of Appeals and federal court in the Northern District of Georgia. Currently, Courtney is a practicing attorney who specializes in political and election law, civil litigation, and is an active advocate for election integrity. Courtney stands at the forefront of fighting for conservative values while zealously advocating for justice of her clients and seeking the truth in all matters she handles. So, wanted to pop on here very quickly to read that statement to you guys. We will see how Fulton County responds when it comes to election time. Working for the White House does have its advantages, and with her focus on election law, seeing the corruption and the RICO charges that are coming out of Fulton County, it seems like she really cares about making a difference. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let's talk about this one. See you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Bye.